The short-term mission trip has become a summer fixture for Christian churches around America. They raise support in a variety of ways, then head out to take the gospel to unreached people around the globe. When they return, the kids can't wait to share their experience. They're fired up, at least for a while. And what about the mission fields they visit? Ask around, and you might find a different perspective. Career missionary Wilma Forster.
There have been teams that have come down of young people. Their hearts are in the right place. They love God. But a team of 125 people, the logistics are huge. It creates a burden instead of a help.
As a missionary in the bush of Africa, I've got everything I can do as a missionary to be a pastor of a local church, to meet the needs of my own family, includes my own children and their education, their schooling and all that. And with limited funds available, it does put a strain on you.
One argument in favor of short-term trips is they lead to career choices in overseas evangelism. But according to a study by the American Society of Missiology, that connection isn't so clear. The study points out that while short-term missions have surged in the last 20 years, the number of new missionaries has actually declined. In Panama, I met one of those who recently answered the mission's call. Philip Brummett brought his family here a couple years ago after a short-term trip introduced him to the Kuna Indians.
I'll always have a special home in my heart for short-term missions, because if it wasn't for short-term missions, we wouldn't be here.
But once he began living among the Kuna, he started seeing the effect of short-term groups on the tribe.
Our hope is that we give them the resources that they need and let them take it for themselves. But when the short-termers come over and do the work for the nationals and then leave, there's no ownership that has taken place.
After one mid-sized church sent their youth group down for a week, Philip was amazed at the cost.
The money that they spent on food alone was enough for us to pay for one of our week training for 30 of the Kunas on the island.
Okay, so from that news broadcast from the Christian Broadcasting Network, we heard from Christians and we heard both pros and cons of their views of these short-term mission trips. On the pro side of things, we heard that it helps local missionaries by taking some of the pressure off their backs and just more hands to help with what they're doing. And it also can lead to career missionaries. The people that go on these trips can decide that that's what they want to do with their lives. And the cons are it creates a dependency on the missionaries. When the missionaries come in and do things for the locals and try to help them, the locals have no ownership over this, and it creates a dependency on the people that are coming in. So when they leave, the local area is just back to how it was before. And also the money raised and spent on these short-term mission trips is astronomical. The book When Helping Hurts says that $1.6 billion was raised by Americans alone going on short-term mission trips in 2006. $1.6 billion, that's a lot. Could it be used better by sending it to the missionaries that are already there? Or could it be used in some other way? With all this in mind, it's important to remember that as Christians, we are called in Matthew in the Great Commission to go and make disciples of all nations. We're called multiple times in the Bible to go and help the poor and to imitate Christ and be his hands and feet in the world. And he did help the poor and helped others. So with all this being said, do short-term missions, are they ethical?